Welcome to the Immunity Community 2020, where our focus is to provide physical, mental, spiritual info and positive vibes to help you endure and adapt. We'll be bringing you experts to provide strategies to handle stress and boost your immunity. Okay, all welcome to the Immunity Community 2020. I'm very excited to have Torie Bartee, and this is the first time I'm meeting you, and I'm really stoked to have you on the show because I really feel like you have a lot to offer our local community and also the community at large. You're introduced to us by one of our team members that you're friends with. So we'll do a shout out to Ashley. She'll be excited about that. And because she works tirelessly on the backside of all this, putting it all together. So Torie, you're a fitness phenom. You're a photographer. You're a mom. You're a wife. What else do you do? What don't you do?
I mean, I just stenciled our back patio. So
I saw that on Instagram. So it's a table for 12, right?
Well, it's a 12-foot table.
Okay, got it.
Benches. My husband built it. So we did benches so we can fit as many people as we can at that table, because we just feel a calling just to, community and just, being together. And, we don't want to hold it to ourselves. We want to,
and we're all missing that right now. Even just like meeting random people out and seeing people. I'm trying to smile behind my face mask all the time when I'm out in public and just telling jokes behind the veil. But it's, it's like I'm doing the best I can. I think I spend more time in the grocery store talking to I'm like friends with every checkout person at Whole Foods in my neighborhood because they're like who I'm talking to randomly besides people I already know. So
I'm craving that community right now too.
Totally.
I feel like when you're out on a walk and people are like, hey, and they see you from afar and they're like waving.
But then there's also that little bit of weirdness, right? It's like, I don't know if I should say hello. So we're all going through some awkward stuff, but we're going to get to the positive vibe aspect, because can you give us a little background of your fitness journey? And we're going to put all the social media stuff because you have to see what Torie does artistically. And I look at your approach to movement and fitness as an art form, and it's amazingly creative. So like right on. Can you share with us the journey of your, like how you,
Absolutely.
where you're at?
I kind of feel I am a pretty artistic, creative person. And so combining the movement and exercise with my creativity has kind of just seamlessly come together. But I'll start with, I grew up competitive dancing. I just have always been active. My family has been active growing up. Even I didn't play sports, but my brother did. And so we'd always be at the ball field or throwing a ball around or kicking a ball or something. And so I just grew up with, my parents are still very active, even in their 50s. My dad wakeboards and BMX bikes and
awesome.
All kinds of stuff. So I feel like that active and that, just moving your body has been instilled in me even since I was young. So I grew up competitive dancing, and then I went to college for it, but I didn't feel like I was supposed to. I went to major in it, and I didn't feel like I was supposed to be doing that. So I kind of switched. Probably my senior year. Well, I switched earlier, but my senior year I went to TV and radio news and broadcast.
Okay.
I interned at a radio station. I was like, nope, not for me, but I went more of the TV route after that. And then that kind of led me into the photography stuff. So I've always had that creative eye, and I love capturing the moment, telling a story. So with video, I love being able to tell a story. So fast forward to having children, getting married, having children. I was still active and stuff when I was pregnant and having my kids, but it was that third child that I was like, all right, we knew we were done having kids. We knew we were done building our family. And so, now we want to, have that foundation and move on. So me personally, I know this is kind of selfish, but I was like, all right, we're done having kids. I want to get in the best shape of my life. And that's kind of how it started was, all right, I want to lose the baby weight. I want to get in the best shape of my life. And in doing so, I started posting on Instagram and just kind of sharing just for other moms, maybe to inspire them to be like, hey, look, just because you're a mom, you know, you don't have to not focus on yourself or put yourself last, I guess I would say. And I know in the beginning, when I had my first two kids, I really did put myself on the back burner. And I think just you're tired, you're not sleeping a whole lot, you're trying to figure out the whole parenting thing. It's new. You're like, how do I fit in exercise with this? And then trying to feed your kids, and you're trying to eat healthy, and just, you know, that journey, just trying to figure it all out. And by the time I had the third kid, I kind of was like, it clicked in my head, and I'm like, all right, we're going to focus on this. We're going to do this. And in the process of sharing it, other people started asking me, what are you doing? How are you losing the baby weight? How do you have so much energy? I get asked that so much. How do you have so much energy? How do you have three kids and have a business and photography on the side and this and that and paint your patio? Like, how do you have all this energy? And for me, I kind of think of it as my cup. I have to fill my cup first, and then the overflow is what pours out to my kids. And then when I fill my cup, I can serve my family, I can pour out to my family, and nutritionally and all those things, just taking care of my body, I feel like I just have so much more energy. And I will say my kids are older now, so I get more sleep.
Yeah, of course.
That definitely
that zaps it out of you quickly in the beginning. Those beginning phases, yeah, that's the worst with no sleep. So, your focus for fitness has become more. Is it more for women or more for moms, or a combination of both? Because I love the name. It's strong her, right?
Yeah.
And that's powerful. So it's like, can you share a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. So, in the beginning, like, so when I started sharing everything and people were asking me questions, and so I just started leading some groups just to I pulled videos off of YouTube, and just to, hey, let's try this together. Let's do this together. And then over time, the more and more people kept coming to me, I'm like, okay, I got to do something with this. And I found that passion, and I found that I loved helping women feel better about themselves, lose the baby weight, but also just focusing on health from the inside out. Because we can change our exterior all we want, but if we're not working on the interior, our mental health, our spiritual health as well, then we might lose that 10 pounds or 15 pounds, but we still feel like we're lacking something, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I started the groups, and everyone was like, you know, we want more. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to get certified. So I got certified as a trainer. And then as the journey has gone on, I've learned how to piece workouts together and build upon it. And the most effective, learned how to put the most effective workouts together. Because then I look back at some of my workouts in the beginning, I'm like, oh, what was I thinking?
You've grown tremendously, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And you just grow in that. But yeah, that's how it started. And for me, I do want to help women more so. I mean, men, yes, absolutely. A lot of women's husbands join them on this journey, and they do the workouts with them. So there's no workout that's just, oh, this is just a woman's workout. Like,
right.
Women can lift weights, men can do HIIT. I mean, it all interchanges. But for me, I wanted to empower moms especially, but women to take care of themselves and feel just stronger and healthy, and be able to pour out to their children and give to their children and their community as well.
Yeah, because it's you get, and I'm speaking from a father's perspective. I'm not a mother, but I'm a single dad, and I've had to fill both roles at certain times. But I find that I'm more on edge. Like, if I don't fill my cup first, like you said, or put my own mask on, I don't exercise. If I don't take care of myself first, I'm a much worse parent. So I love the inside out approach. So how have you, I just feel it, that you combine that spiritual perspective, which it's not always. I think we're looking more towards that as fitness has changed. It's not just what exercises can you do, how many reps can you do, but so are all of your programs online, or are you training people face to face also?
Yeah, everything's online. I recently started some local classes through our church.
Okay.
That's just one time a week, and it's free. It's just open to the community, whoever wants to come. But everything has been online for the past 5 years.
Awesome.
And I do one-on-one training sometimes with people online, but it's mostly a group setting I go through the program with them together. I check in with them every night and I have them rate their day. How is your water intake? How's your nutrition? How's your exercise? Do you feel like you could push yourself a little more? Do you feel like you need a rest day? So just trying to get them to think. I want to give it to them, but I want them to try and work through it themselves, because I can't spoon feed them everything. They have to be able to put in the work themselves. And I think that's where lasting change comes.
When it comes from inside. Yeah.
Yeah,
On your own.
and learning how to do it yourself. And yes, it takes time. I have women who expect the change in 30 days, but it's like you got to give yourself time. And I believe in that healthy lifestyle change. It's not just a quick fix, it's not just a fad diet, but it's that change over time, gradually building those stepping stones to where it's going to be lasting and you can just sustain this for the rest of your life.
Awesome. And so you didn't have to modify much of the way you're working when quarantine and all this stuff happened. You're ready. You're already set. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool.
Although the kids being at home and homeschooling,
Yeah.
trying to figure that part out has been, but we're in a good flow right now. So
Well, if you could just stick them all on that awesome looking table, then they could be in their school together because they're siblings. So it's all good. So can you leave us with some, I mean, first of all, thank you so much I jumped, but like you just have an awesome energy, and I appreciate being able to shuck and jive with you, and we could get really in depth, but I'm working to get some smaller or short version interviews so our listeners can just find out who you are, get to your platforms and watch you quickly. But would you be able to leave our listeners and me with some potential, not fitness tips per se, but that integration? Like, how do you get beautiful from the inside out for men and for women? But I know your niche is women, but can you leave us with any good tips or tactics, strategies to approach from there, or challenges?
yeah, absolutely. I just over the years, for me, I started out with that outer focus, wanting to get in the best shape of my life, look good. But the past few years, I've learned that, like I said earlier, the exterior, you can do what you want, but if you're not working on your heart and positive mentalities, for me, it's reading my Bible, connecting with God, truly finding out what He thinks about me and not just what the world says. Because so many times we look at the world and say, well, she looks like this, or they're saying I should look like this, or we compare. But for me, it's, what does God say about me? He says He loves me. He made me beautifully. He made me perfectly. There's no flaw in me. And so for me, reminding myself of that He created me, one, this way for a reason. If we all looked the same way, how boring would it
Yeah.
be? If we all had the same personality, how boring would it be? And so embracing who we are, who God created us to be. I know that I'm more extroverted, I'm more outgoing, but some people might be more introverted and more quiet, and they might look down at that, or I have in the past looked down at my just being outgoing and thinking, oh, I'm too much. But really, we're made different for a reason. And I say about my husband, he's more of an introvert, but opposites attract. Like, it comes together and it works so beautifully and so perfectly. And so it's just really embracing who we are and finding that out, really seeking, okay, who am I? Who did God make me to be? And then embracing that. Like, I've embraced my extrovert personality, and even though it's online, my workouts and stuff, but when we come together on videos, I can just embrace that and encourage them and push them and motivate them in a positive way, where somebody who might be a little more quiet, they're behind the scenes and they're just as important as someone
Mhm.
who's out in front and maybe the voice of the mic in the microphone. Well, that person who set up that microphone is just as important. That person speaking wouldn't be able to speak without that person running the sound behind the scenes. So just, for me, it's remembering who God says that we are, but also embracing who He made us to be as well, and not looking down on something that maybe, we can always improve and get better and be the better versions of ourselves, but really just embracing who we are and accepting that, I think.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Very insightful. It's really cool to see, because the just going beyond the external and what we look like, but using fitness and spirituality to help us grow and shine our love and our light from the inside out that's an awesome thing, especially nowadays. I think it's, we're seeing many changes in the whole industry and how it's approached that way. So I
Right.
really appreciate your approach, and I want our community, if you guys haven't found Torie yet, by open it up in another window, but definitely click over to the right and open up another part of your browser and check her out and on Instagram. And we're gonna connect through all the socials afterwards. But that's awesome. So you're doing bright work and awesome. So keep shedding the light. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this opportunity.
You got it. All right.